Hey, this is Stephen Whitesides with Greenbrier Percussion, having a great time on a Ludwig Legacy. This is a copper sparkle finish everybody here knows as champagne sparkle. Really classic. It has been around for a million years, but it's never looked as good as it does today. You see a whole lot of like a white, a copper grain, a little bit of orange, and some silver that show through on the flex of this particular wrap. And man, does it look better than ever. More importantly, though, the Legacy kits with their 3-ply, soft bearing edge, and the low thuddy tones you get out of these drums, great for rocking out. They're very consistent for jazz, and you get a lot of cool tones out of them. If you do any head bending, if you play near the center, near the edge, they're fairly zonal drums for a low end, whereas when you play babinga or something, it doesn't really matter where or how you hit the drum. You get a really consistent thud, and that's great if you're an all-over-the-place, wild, maniac metal drummer. If you're playing rock, though, you might want to be able to pull more sounds and variations out of your kit so it sounds more acoustic and less triggered, and this is absolutely a solution for you. And at a fairly reasonable price, considering this is a USA-made, handmade drum set, fiber band mounts. You could set it up on a Gibraltar stealth rack system like what I have on the left side of the kit here, or you could go with conventional Ludwig cymbal stands like what I have on the right side of the kit here. Both are fairly comfy setups. I think the bass drum is one of the easiest bass drums to tune in the industry. It's just a very consistent, very warm thing, and you can get punch, or you can get thud, or you can get a hip-hop boom out of it, just depending on head selection and how tight you tune your heads. What we have here is like a medium head tension on the kick side with a 2-ply clear head, and we have the Ludwig head, not the Ludwig, we're using a EMAD resonant head on the other side, hoping to project kind of like a tight, punchy sound with some control and a fairly short sustain, but still, opened up a little bit, so it would lend itself really well to rock and blend with the toms, which again are warm, medium sustain, kind of like the bass drum, but have enough punch and enough attack so you can articulate really quickly on them if you play a similar style to myself. We're using Sabian AAX Crash Ride hi-hats and an Evolution 18-inch, our best-selling crash cymbal, on this kit today, just to have some frame of reference of what this thing sounds like with cymbals. The snare, though, is really the gem of this kit. You could buy it with or without the snare. I highly recommend grabbing this 5x14. The snare wires are very present, very articulate, very crunchy, but press rolls are really a dream on this. I have the coils not too tight on here. Miraculously, I'm not getting that notorious 10-inch tom snare buzz where you hit your tom and you hear the snare buzz really obnoxiously in your recordings. This one just seems to work with these toms. I still don't fully understand the magic of that other than sympathetic tuning ranges between the drums. But we really found the magic on this. I could press roll really comfortably on this thing. I liked it. I also like that it's warm and it sounds traditional. It would be great if you're playing 70s or 80s covers. This is exactly the sound you'd be looking for. Great maple snare drum. So I'm going to play a little more. We've been using a couple of SM57s, an Audix D6, and an Audix snare mic here with SM81 overheads. Let's cut down to just the overheads and see what this thing sounds like in a big empty room, kind of like what it might sound like in your basement if you were jamming out, or a small bar, without all of the studio magic to pump it up a little bit.